we've got NBA basketball in store from New Orleans, Louisiana, the home of the Pelicans, right here on 2K Sports. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with David Aldridge on our sideline. Corner shot. The putback. Bryant trying to free himself up. And Antetokounmpo on the follow.
Hey, I've always said rebounding is timing and tenacity, but if you got long arms, that helps too, and the Greek Freak has plenty of reach.
Now here's Paul. Bank shot, no good.
The defense has to be better. I mean, they were fortunate that he missed that mid-range jumper. It certainly wasn't because of the defense.
George with the bucket.
Nice release on the shot. George has put a lot of work into his mechanics, and I like the way he continues to impress from beyond the arc. And you might have heard this story about Giannis growing a couple of inches since he was drafted, but how about the strength this kid has added? Under 200 pounds as a rook, he's added a good 35 pounds of muscle through his dedication in the weight room.
George, no good.
He's still fighting it, and sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets. He's trying to get in the rhythm, but right now he's playing hard, but he's hurting his team.
And you got to love how Paul sees the whole court so well. Maybe the best quality for a point guard to have.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Ben Simmons, who missed the first season in the NBA with an injury. Boy, Greg, was he worth the wait.
And you knew he'd be a special kind of player after being taken first overall. But he's so unique in how great of a player he is. His ability to command attention on offense without having a great outside shot really is something you just don't see in today's NBA.
Pass to George. Back to Simmons. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
And the Australian Simmons is a star in the making thanks to his extremely versatile and high-level skill set and big frame. You know, when you watch Ben Simmons, he has marvelous talent and all-around ability, but sometimes you can easily focus on what he can't do. He's not a great shooter, so teams do back off of him, but still, this guy is an impact player because he sees the floor, he passes it great, he's a terrific rebounder, and he's got a nice motor.
The shot's good on the assist by George.
Boy, what skill from Simmons. I mean, so adept at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
And now here comes Simmons leading the break.
A nice form on that hook shot there.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. And for Simmons, missing his rookie year due to the injury, but he showed he was worth the wait.
No doubt. And you just don't see players with his skills and his body type come around that often, Kevin. I mean, he started quickly out of the gates and took over the Rookie of the Year award race almost immediately.
That one drops for him. That's 7 points for Kobe Bryant.
Room service assist from Paul. Can't put the ball in a better spot. His vision, outstanding.
That is a tough shot.
Now here's Paul. Aldridge's screen. And it's Paul penetrating. Out to the wing. Over Simmons. And it's blocked by...
Boy, you cannot forget about the long reach and wingspan of Simmons. I mean, he uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with block shots.
Here's Paul. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Bryant's shot is good.
And you really got to appreciate that swag that Bryant plays with. If you give him room to shoot from deep, he's going to make you pay.
Outside, George. Paul with the steal. And here we go. Paul heading to the hoop. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Paul's got his first bucket in this one.
Never surprising to see Chris Paul start the break now. But as we see right there, he's just as good at finishing it.
Nobody near George. Off target from the wing.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him. How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And that one drops.
You always got to track Harden, an elusive player who knows how to get it done inside.
Pass to Simmons. Back to George. Stepped in the line, out of bounds there, and that will cost them the possession. Paul with the ball. He's got 5. It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. And that one hits back iron.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
Foul. You know, here's a you might not know about Chris Paul. Basketball is not his only sport. He's an amazing bowler, too. Now, I'm not sure if you call that a sport as much as you call it a skilled activity, but he's good at it.
Now here's Simmons. 7 points in the game. George, that's a 2-pointer. Shot to stop the drought. And Simmons slams it in.
Oh, I tell you, how about the passion of Simmons? I mean, just sticking with it on the glass.
Pass to Paul. Aldridge a screen. Outside, Kobe. 3-pointer. Rebound by Joel Embiid.
There's some defense for you. For someone who's as good at shooting the 3-ball as he is, you need a defender who's equally good at guarding against it.
Yes, and how about the unselfishness? Paul George has no problem sharing the ball.
Now here's Davis. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Paul, and it's blocked by Simmons.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that.
The drive by Paul, and a nice shot by Bryant.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Poked loose, and taken away by Paul. Fires for 3. And that one's good by Kobe. Bryant's got 15.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And it's George missing.
Tell you what, Kevin, it would be helpful if he would start to contribute a little more on offense, because when he's missing, it makes it really hard for this team.
Now here's Paul. He's got 7. Such a wide open look. Clark, if you need to win a game 7, and you can't have KD or LeBron, but you can have any other one player in the league, who would you pick?
Wow, if you can't have either one of those guys.
How do you like that question?
There's a great list. Harden, Curry, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard when healthy. And I think you'd have to throw Russell Westbrook in there, too, for a one-game situation where he could just go with the abandon he goes with. But I think I'm going to hang my hat with Kyrie Irving, since he was part of bringing a championship to the Cavs a couple of years ago, my hometown.
And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
Pass to Bryant. And Embiid pulls it down.
You know, the defense knew how to play at that time, liked how they made their presence felt without committing the foul.
And he knocks down the first one.
And, you know, the versatile George does so many things well. A high-octane player who I think gives you intensity at both ends of the court.
And it's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them. Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
And finish off by Bryant.
And Kevin, when he catches the hot hand, good luck trying to slow him down. Plays so under control, can spot up, drive, create for himself a matchup nightmare.
And finish off by Bryant.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
Backcourt violation.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
You know, he's got to take care of the ball much better than he has been. By himself, he's accounted for 4 turnovers. That's way too many.
And no good. Trying to use the glass.
No other way to say it. Flat out bad defense. Didn't even contest the shot. Lucky for them, he misfired on it.
And that one's good, George.
Taking advantage of that length inside, George has the size and touch to score with ease from there.
Here's Kobe. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Simmons. 16 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Pass to Harden. Paul with the 3. That one's rebounded by Embiid. And here's George for 3. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And money to end the quarter there with the triple.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. The West up 1. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on the home team so far?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Yeah, outworking them right now, plain and simple. I mean, they've been terrific in the open floor.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
From the wing, drained for 2 points. George has got 16.
When PG-13 is feeling it, he can be an absolute monster from mid-range.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A. thanks. And that one, good. 15 points for Ben Simmons.
When he's sprinting down the court like that to the basket, Simmons is virtually impossible to stop.
Tipped away. Paul, no one around him. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. 10 points for Chris Paul.
And, you know, Brett Brown has seen it all in Philly. The good and bad times, was the head coach for their lowest points as this team rebuilt. Now he's reaping the fruits of his labor and persistence as he leads a star-studded Sixers team that has great potential.
It's good.
You got to recognize Simmons is a pass-first guy, which is why you can't leave somebody open around him.
Paul, right side. In the corner, Harden. Here's Kobe. All up top. Clock at 6. Over Simmons. can't nail the jumper.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Clark, you were drafted 8th overall by the Indiana Pacers. Do you have any indication that you were going to go in that slot? Was there any kind of inkling at all?
No, I only visited with teams drafting 4 through 6. Talked to the Chicago Bulls, the Dallas Mavericks, and I read some of the reports about where I was projected. But you know what? Once you get past first or second, sometimes the top 3 picks in a draft, you really don't know who's going where after that. So I was fortunate. I landed in a good spot.
Right. And
Indianapolis was a good place for me and Rosie to be as I started my NBA career.
It sure was.
And love watching Simmons run the floor, just eating up so much space in so little time.
Here's Bryant. That one good for 2. Kobe's got 25 points in the game.
Wow, what a clever pass that time by Chris Paul.
Pass to George. Screen by Simmons. Off the screen, George. And Paul pulls it down. And now Kobe running the floor all by himself.
Well, you got to respect the speed of Bryant. He is so fast when he's got room to run.
Now George. From deep three-point range. And it's Anthony Davis with the rebound.
Just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
That certainly was a deep one. I mean, maybe move in a little bit next time. There's no such thing as a 4-point line.
And with everything that Anthony Davis does on offense, it's just mind-boggling. His scoring inside and out, the percentages, he does it all. He is undoubtedly one of the best big men in the league, and many would argue he is the best in the NBA.
Here's Simmons. That shot off the mark. And it's sent back by George.
Well, I tell you what, Paul George is so tough on defense. Love the way he gets after people. He's excellent at staying in the play as well as staying in his stance so he can come up with rejections and deflections.
And with Anthony Davis, the stat lines, Greg, he can post on any given night are just absurd.
Really, Davis still strong defensively, but he really impacts every facet of the game. One of the rare players who can carry a team on both ends of the floor. There just aren't many great players that can lead a team to a championship, but I think Davis is of that mold.
George, that's a 2-pointer. And he can't stop, but he misses. And Harden wide open. He shoots. He clangs that one off the back iron and down it falls.
Now you got to remember that Harden has a quick trigger, staple gun quick. This guy is looking to score as soon as the ball touches hands.
And many thought LaMarcus Aldridge was on a downswing in his career, but boy, were they wrong.
You know, Aldridge silenced a lot of critics with his play last season. I mean, in a league that has very few great low-post players, he demonstrated he's still one of the best. Has so many moves and tricks in his game, and when he gets the ball down low, the defense really has very little to do with it.
Offensive rebound. Bryant with it. George picks him up. Kobe with the bucket.
He's been turned up this quarter, showing a lot of confidence and sinking a lot of his shots.
Here's George. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. And that one misses.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Outside Bryant. Right side Aldridge. The rebound by Paul George. And it's Simmons penetrating. And it's James Harden with the rebound.
Looked like he rushed the layup to me. I mean, the defense was late on contesting that one.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
From deep, George.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Paul outside. Pass to Davis. Now here's Paul. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Paul's got 12 points in the game.
And we know Paul's not the biggest guy in the league, far from it, but that does not stop him from finding ways to score inside.
Back to Simmons. It's stolen by Davis. On the wing, Kobe. And stolen by Simmons. Jumps up.
Whoa! Talk about bringing it. Simmons doing a nice job there mucking up passing lanes and making life difficult for the opposition. And that's a mindset, but also activity and energy display.
Ring shot on the way. That misses off the backboard.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
To the paint. Clock at 4. Paul with the steal. It's tipped. Stolen by George. Oladipo. And it's Oladipo with the jam.
Can't afford to give Oladipo any lanes to the rim. Once he has one, might as well clear out the way.
And it's slammed in by Davis.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
Pass to Antetokounmpo. Shot clock at 6. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Excellent concentration that time by the 6'10" Simmons. Very good at completing these chances despite the defense's best efforts.
Here's Paul to the inside. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Here's Simmons. It's rebounded by Aldridge. And here's the fast break. Bryant leading the way. And it's blocked by Simmons. The three from George. He can't get it to go. Pass to Harden. Paul outside. Here's Bryant. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. 33 points for Kobe Bryant.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams. Already he's looking at his third foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the third quarter.
And that one falls for Paul.
And no doubt Paul is still a top-tier point guard, a determined defender, and, of course, a remarkable distributor.
You know, he's a steady hand at the free throw line, showing tremendous confidence in this one.
Embiid with the steal. Outside, Simmons. And here's George for three. Hits it from three-point range. George has got 13 points on the.
He's going to force them to have to make adjustments. That's number 4 in terms of triples in the half.
And it's George finishing it off.
Hey, it's one thing to have the physical attributes, the length, the athleticism to play good defense, but the other part of it is the instincts. And George thinks and feels things defensively as well as anybody in the league, and really excellent instincts at that end of the floor.
Pass to Embiid. Unloads from 13. And yes, it's good. George has got 31.
And you know, once George gets on the roll, he's just absolutely relentless, showing you how dominant he can be when he gets hot.
We'll get right back to the action when we return. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. Outside, Kobe. Stolen by George. And George with the stuff.
I tell you what, mind-blowing experience when you look at Paul George as a dunker. This guy makes alley-oops look easy.
Pass to Aldridge. Here's Davis. And Davis throws it down.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
Here's Paul. Makes it off the glass. Paul's got 16.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
And here's George for three.
Look at this little fella going in there and eating up some glass.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Bryant is the total platinum level package. A lethal shooter, an exceptional defender, a flat-out assassin on offense, and most importantly, this guy's a leader too.
Outside, Simmons. Pass to George. Shot off the screen. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And finished off by Davis.
Loving the energy right now here in the third quarter as they try to take control of this game.
And I really think this is the time to do it because this is a real important juncture in the ball game right here. You know, James Harden, the leading isolation scorer in the league for the last 3 years plus. He's taken it to a whole new level, almost 12 points a game in isolation in 2018, and his efficiency, the best in the game, is off the charts.
Here's Paul, and he makes good on the layup. Paul's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Yeah, that's tremendous efficiency there. I mean, you like seeing them put together these types of plays.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Isolation, one-on-one basketball has lost favor league-wide, but Harden flips that logic on its head.
Yeah, it can still be a little frustrating to watch at times, Kevin, but it reminds me a bit of the way that Steph Curry changed the definition of a good shot, his deep range and marksmanship from long distance. Now more and more players are shooting it from that deep. Harden is changing the definition of a good possession because he's just so talented at making the toughest shots look easy.
Simmons. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Simmons got 27.
And really with Simmons, the guy just has everything, including that soft mid-range jumper.
Outside Bryant. Step back shot. Just 5 to shoot. Harden can't hit.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
Here's Paul over Simmons, and it's blocked by Simmons. George, that's a 2-pointer. He drains the quick shot. George has got 35.
Boy, he's making it look really easy right now. I expect them to continue to run the offense through him until the defense makes them change plans.
And a nice shot by Bryant. Bryant's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
It's stolen by Davis. And Bryant slams it in.
You know, Harden will burn you when you overcommit and leave guys open. He's excellent at sensing when you're out of position.
Pass to Simmons. Now here is George. Second shot opportunity. That one is good from Joel Embiid.
And this is what you get with Embiid. A real scrapper, even though he's a big, skilled, talented guy. He's an energy guy as well.
Here's Paul. 18 points for him. Pass to Davis. And it's Davis with the jam. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
Ball is turned over. Team's ball.
One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
The shot by Paul, no good.
He hit a couple in the first, but so far he's been unable to get uncorked here.
No answer for Simmons, a tenacious scorer who finishes with muscle through contact.
He's been getting to the line, now his 6th trip in the game.
Not sure where it's gone, but he's lost his confidence at the foul line.
And that's been a huge problem. I mean, giving away points at the stripe, never a good thing.
And the shot goes in. Bryant's got 41.
And, you know, he's been their go-to guy. Smart at knowing what shots to take, when to take them. Plays with really a perfect pace.
Wasted no time on that one. 7 points for the quarter.
And this is someone that can really hurt you from long range. He did that to a degree in the first half, and he's doing it now.
Back to Simmons. Over Paul. Shots good by Simmons. Simmons got 32 points in the game.
And the score this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Great D that time, Davis. Here's Kobe. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
And the long of Antetokounmpo, I mean, stretches for days. And because of that, he's excellent at challenging shots.
Stolen by George. And Paul pulls it down. And here is Bryant. And he's got 41. Pass to Davis. Good D by Embiid.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Now Bryant, guarded by Simmons. 5 to shoot. Here's Aldridge. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Down low. Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Simmons is an absolute thoroughbred as a scorer. A dominant offensive talent who scores in a lot of different ways.
Pass to Bryant. No good, unable to end this run.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the three.
Simmons loves jamming it through, relentless in his attacking of the cup.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Harden, nope. George from deep three-point land gets the three-pointer to fall. George has got 41.
And sometimes with George, it doesn't really matter where he's squaring up from. If he's in rhythm, even from distance, you've got to get a hand in his face or he'll drain it.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
Paul outside. On the wing, Davis. Pass to Bryant. Clock at 6. And Kobe throws it down hard.
And Bryant, just a superb athlete, terrific at just imposing his will on the defense on that drive.
Here's George. And he uses the glass on the layup. George has got 12 points here in the second half.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
A rejection by Antetokounmpo. Paul for three. And he's good on three ball. Paul's got 24.
And with that three, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Back to Simmons. The kick out to Oladipo. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Oladipo's got 5 now.
And really, Oladipo is effective at stretching the defense with his perimeter shooting. I think his stroke continues to look better with each passing game.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his 5th foul.
Well, one more and that's it. He'll be DQ'd, disqualified. He's got to be able to defend without picking up that last disqualifying foul.
And pressing a bit here, down in the game, trying to use the three-point shot to get back into it, and instead it's a lot of empty possessions this half.
We've got more in store for you right after this. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter, and if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. Now Simmons. Pass to George. And Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker. He's out of fire right now. I mean, what a habit.
Paul goes in. Bryant up top. Pass to Aldridge. Got a piece of it. Shot clock at 6. George with the ball. And good that time. George has got 45 points.
And that's superb concentration. It takes a lot to distract George once he's got position inside.
Embiid with the steal. Here's Antetokounmpo. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Outside, George. Back to Simmons. Anthony Davis grabs the miss.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Paul with the ball. Now defended by Oladipo. Outside Bryant. Paul George with the steal. And they're running. Here's Simmons. Embiid trying to break loose. Ben Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got 42 in the game.
And the variety that Simmons offers is huge. It's pretty much pick your poison with him.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And he makes the first but misses the second. Guys, there's still time for them to make a run.
Can't have any wasted possessions down the stretch.
It's stolen. And he now...
Yes, sir.
That was incredible.
Oh, man. And that's his MO. Sometimes he can score more points by himself than the rest of the team.
Davis. And it's blocked by Simmons. Offensive rebound. They shoot again. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And, you know, the length and height of Aldridge make him a tough matchup. He's a hard guy to go against, a strong forward that has an impressive mid-range stroke.
And even though they're down, they are putting a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second personal foul.
Outside, George lets a floater go. Inside, and finish off by Bryant.
And love how Paul seeks out his teammates. Superb at slicing the D to pieces with his passing. And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
Fires from deep. Buries it from three-point range. Paul's got 27.
Well, you got to play up on Paul because he's so good at getting separation off the screen and then capitalizing.
Paul with the steal. Pass to Aldridge. Overhand to Tacumbo. Here's Paul. Left side, Davis. Paul outside. That three off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Paul George.
And the vertical of Simmons, an extraordinary dunker when given the chance to shine.
Here's Kobe. Drains it from 17 feet out. Bryant's got 7 points here in this quarter.
He is just self-willing his team right now, doing everything he can to keep them alive. Really, it's about valuing the possession. It seems like he's trying to manufacture offense out there rather than just letting the play develop.
And right on target. Good. Bryant's got 52 points.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
And the Australian Simmons, a star in the making, folks. Thanks really in part to that tremendous skill set to go along with that gigantic frame.
Here's Paul. Harden's got room. Giannis Antetokounmpo grabs the miss. Inside. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Here's Paul. To the middle. Here's Aldridge. Good, and Paul gets the assist. And that's now 6 points for Aldridge.
A good score inside, and the defense really offering very little resistance.
Well, they don't have anybody to blame but themselves. How to prevent them from getting good looks this late in the ball game? You got to come up with stops.
And there's the call on Joel Embiid. And that'll be his third foul so far. Now here's Bryant. Aldridge a screen. Shot off the pick. And right through it goes. Bryant's got 54 points.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Absolutely awesome to watch Antetokounmpo rise up for these throwdowns. I mean, it's really quite easy for him.
And with the game and the balance here in the fourth, he's been unflappable. 6 of 8 from the field, providing them with some big buckets.
Back to George. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Davis.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
He's perfect from the line this time. Here's Paul. Davis sets a screen. And it's Paul penetrating.
That's his 4th personal foul.
Free throw, good. Paul.
At the line, Chris Paul.
No good on the second free throw. Here's George. It's stolen by Davis. It's tipped. Paul left side. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. And here's George. Embiid the screen. From deep. And George is good for 3. George has got 53.
He's absolutely killing it from outside.
Paul outside. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last.
Yeah, and I think he was surprised to see that pass coming his way and just really reacted too late.
Kobe Bryant. That's his 1st personal foul.
That's good from George.
Paul George.
And George drops them both. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
And it's Bryant missing.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
And there's never been any question about George's three-point range. He just goes through stretches where he knocks down the 3 at a ridiculous rate. Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
And both free throws good from Paul. Outside, Simmons. Evans goes in. Back to Simmons. And he goes big with the dunk right over LaMarcus Aldridge.
And, you know, whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane bounce, he takes advantage of it, really demonstrating how lethal he is in the air.
Now Bryant. Back to Paul. And stolen by Simmons. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Just terrific determination. First, compiling the lead, and now building on it.
And that's what you want to do. I mean, you can't let the op here. I mean, you've got to keep adding to that lead.
Paul with the 3. Simmons on the wing. From deep, Evans. Nice D from Bryant.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Patrolling the perimeter well and didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A+ defense.
Back to Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And I'd say that's it, guys. They're not coming back in this one.
Nope, no chance. Not gonna happen. That chance has long since passed of them getting back into this one. Forget about it.
Knocks it loose. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Bryant. And it's Evans in the corner. And a miss there on the triple.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
For 3, Kobe. And the 3 ball is good.
Yeah, you got to know Bryant looking to shoot as soon as he gets the ball. The D can't give him any daylight.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. Evans with it. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Simmons. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And so here's the home team. And Paul launches it from deep. He connects.
And his handle's simply phenomenal. Rush hour handles of the highest level, cutting and carving his way to wherever he wants to go. Chris Paul is a maestro with the ball.
The visiting club takes the win on the